And welcome to today's edition of Bury Your Bookie. I'm Jeff DeForest. Very happy to have you guys with us. We're already in action as it's early in the morning here on the East Coast. And we've got Wimbledon to take a look at. Much going on in Major League Baseball. We should be joined here shortly by the great Scotty M, who's been diving into baseball and profiting almost every night with his informative picks. And we're going to bring him into the program here as quickly as we can because when a man's on fire, you don't want to make him wait in the wings here. So Scotty M about to join us here on the show. I have a play today that I'm going to make, and by the time you guys watch this, depending on where you're at and what time you plug into the program, I may already look like a fool and be sitting here trying to find out whether crow tastes better with Grey Poupon or some kind of hot, spicy deli mustard. But we shall see because I'm looking at this Ben Shelton Yannick Sinner match that's taking place at Wimbledon today. Men's quarterfinals, chance to go to the semis, a possibility of two Americans. We already have Taylor Fritz has made his way into a position. He's going to have to take on Carlos Alcaraz. And it could be that we have a second American in Ben Shelton in there if he can beat Sinner, who was compromised. I don't know if we have any update on the injury status on Yannick Sinner. He clearly was not himself in that match against Dimitrov. He was down 2-0, 2-2 in the third set when Dimitrov tears or ruptures some kind of pectoral muscle in his shoulder and has to retire. Sinner was on the ropes, had some kind of dicey elbow. So I'm thinking, and Mike Jones was on with us yesterday, I'm thinking 3-1 is a pretty generous price. I don't know if it stayed that way. We welcome into the program on Ben Shelton. We welcome into the program the handsome one himself. You can tell. But when I remember a guy, when I first started selling souvenirs at Shea Stadium, I was 14 years old. I'm walking around the stadium. I had like one pennant left that I hadn't sold. I come back into the office there, and the guy looks at me and he says, what are you walking around like that for? The big thing in sales is to look prosperous. And nobody looks more prosperous than Scotty M. Season ticket holder with the Panthers, obviously has a home that's well decorated here. We welcome him into the program here. Scotty, how are you, my friend?
What's going on, Defo? Appreciate that.
Feeling good. I know you're following the tennis, but is this price still there, or is it off the board? We know that Sinner supposedly had an MRI. You got Ben Shelton against Yannick Sinner today as one of the quarterfinal matches. Shelton have a friend that has him at 48-1 to win it all. But are you really getting 3-1 on Ben Shelton today? Do you have any idea if that price stuck from yesterday when we were talking about Mike Jones? Because I'd be willing to take a shot on that, and if I lost, I wouldn't feel foolish at all.
Well, just before I came on, I actually checked the Wimbledon because I've been following it real closely. I think it's been great.
Yeah, great action.
Yeah, I think Sinner got a gift from God.
Oh, we lost Scotty M. There you are. We lost your volume on here. You with us? You might have to check back in, Scotty M. We'll do it one more time. Somehow you got the mute button going there, so we'll see if we can connect with Scotty M. Because now he's got me just absolutely wondering what the heck the price is going to be on this. And the match gets underway, I believe, shortly. So you better step it up and swing into action if you're going to take a shot with this. But Shelton playing spectacular, lights out, highlight top 10 play tennis. There you are, Scotty. You were saying, is that price holding up?
Yeah. I actually checked just because I was saying just before I came on, I saw Sinner 330, the other side plus 245, and I said, like I said, he got a gift from God with Dimitrov, up 2-0, looking excellent. I mean, the third set was 2-2. When I was on the road, I saw the match. Somebody retired. I thought it was Sinner retiring down 2-0, and then I get the word that Dimitrov got hurt and he had to retire. It's unbelievable because he was playing great and he was giving Sinner all he could handle at that time. And he was a 40-1 favorite in that match going in. I couldn't understand the odds. It was 40-1. You had to lay 4,000 to win 100 one way. But if you took it the other way, it was only 1,900 on the plus side. So that was like an incredible middle,
Yes.
20-1 middle that just disappeared. I would have thought the other side, if you took it, you would have got back maybe 3,000 to 3,200, but it was only 1,900. So that was kind of a very strange number, on that match. That's why you got to be careful with certain things. You can't chase after these certain numbers because it could be so overflated that you're putting yourself in a really bad spot. Even if you're winning, you're laying the wrong numbers on these matches.
When you're watching Sinner, he had breezed through his first three matches, albeit against competition that you figured that he would be able to dominate, but he was dominating in the kind of fashion that you thought, wow, I mean, this guy's going to be in the final there, and in all likelihood against Alcaraz. But nice to see. I mean, I started singing the national anthem earlier this morning. It would be nice to see an American man break through. What we
Yep.
do have Nisimova, who is an American and actually trained right here in our area for many, many years in the South Florida area. I have a friend that covers tennis. And he used to see her all the time when she was a young girl, much like I used to see Naomi Osaka at 14 pounding shots at the Pompano Municipal Tennis Center. And I remember asking somebody, hey, who's that? And the guy told me, well, she's like 245 in the world, even though she's only 14 years old, a young Jennifer Capriati type.
Yep.
Went on to win, four slams herself. But Anisimova's had kind of a star-crossed career there where it looked like she was a real strong, evolving young player, and then ran into some, I guess, mental issues where she was sort of distancing herself from the game. Came back now strongly. She looks like a different player. Good matchup for Sabalenka, who I don't know. Were you on this German girl yesterday, Sigmund? Wow.
Yes.
Sigmund Freud couldn't have figured out that she was going to be able to get inside Sabalenka's head like that with that slice and dice game. That I don't know. That's not the game that you exhibit at the club there, where you're the club champion? Is it, Scotty M? Where you're just like a Vegematic, slicing and dicing your way into the, to disrupt the power player, which she nearly did. It looked like she was
Yeah,
going to
no,
be.
she. I'll tell you, that match was fantastic yesterday. She gave her all she could handle, Sabalenka.
Yeah.
Sigmund yesterday, the German girl. She played fantastic. She won the first set. She got a shot. The second set she gave it back, but in the third set, I mean, it could have went either way. And she really, like you said, she got into Sabalenka's head. But Sabalenka hasn't been cruising through these matches. She's had
Oh,
some battles to get to this point, and listen, like you say, when these other players are hot, they can run with some of these top seeds. Anybody can go when you get to this point. So that match tomorrow in the semis between Sabalenka and Anisimova, how you saying it exactly?
Anisimova, yeah.
Anisimova. I mean, that could be an interesting match. Right now, they're showing Sabalenka a 3-1 favorite, but she's been at least 3-1 or 4-1, if not a lot higher in all her matches. So if she shows up, the American, she could give her a run for the money. You got to look for some value there. There could be a little value.
Probably better style for Sabalenka to take on because this segment really had her messed up to the point where here you have one of the ultimate power players in women's tennis, maybe all time, right up there, approaching Serena-esque type of proportions. And she's hitting this, weird slice towards the end. And you're saying, my God, that the woman actually has taken the number one player in the world from, and she's like number 107 and transformed her into playing her game, which is always something that you like to see in an individual sport. All right, the other match today, Scotty M, is Cavalli versus the Joker.
Yep.
I would think Joker's a prohibitive favorite in this one.
Well,
Cavalli, I never heard of this guy. Another young Italian that has popped onto the scene there, and I watched his match against Cilic, who was on the comeback trail and was impressive enough to get to the point where he was in that stage of third round of the tournament. But this Cavalli, he can serve. I mean, is he posing any kind of a threat? What kind of price we getting?
when you get in with a guy like the Joker, like you said at this stage, I mean, it's very tough to beat a guy like that. He's so up there as far as a high level player. He's playing really well in this tournament. Obviously, he's been pretty much getting through these matches pretty handily. Djokovic at this stage. I mean, he's just a tough out. I mean, no, won the most majors in the history of tennis. I think he's going for his 25th or 26th.
Yes, 25.
Right, and he's in the quarterfinals again. He's an 11-1 favorite against Cavalli. So it's going to be tough to beat him. I mean, he's so experienced. He knows exactly, at this stage, as far as the experience goes, he just blows away Cavalli, obviously. So I wouldn't be surprised if Djokovic goes into the semifinals and obviously faces the winner of the Sinner and Shelton match. You're going to have a great semifinals. Like you said, Taylor Fritz and Alcaraz. I mean, two young superstars, especially Alcaraz. He's already won 2 Wimbledons in his young career.
Yeah.
The guy is just a phenomenal athlete. Taylor Fritz having a great tournament, coming into it mentally. It looks like he's mentally right. So that could be a really interesting match. That could right now. I don't know the price. I think I saw Alcaraz is about a 5-1 favorite, which is a big number.
Sure.
Plus, almost plus 400 for Fritz. But yeah, you got some really good matches. I'm curious to see what takes place in this Sinner and Ben Shelton match. Let's see if Ben Shelton can keep focused in this one against a player of Sinner's level. Because when he shows up with his A game, he's brutal. He's brutal to beat.
All right. While we're on the off track here a little bit from the common sports that people are sending their money in on, I'm looking at odds in this Scottish Open. I know you like to dabble in a little bit of golf. Now, were you the one that had this Brian Campbell? I was saying yesterday, Naomi Campbell probably would have been lower odds than Brian Campbell was in the John Deere Classic. Maybe even Dan Campbell. You would have taken at a lower price. 600 to 1. Were you the one that had that to win the John Deere? Brian Campbell. And so you have the Scottish Open, which clearly a prelude on Link's course is to give you some kind of indication of who might win the formerly British Open, now Open, which I have difficulty just calling it that. But nonetheless, that's on tap, and no doubt will be a big wagering event for people around the world because the people in England certainly love to send it in. They'll bet on virtually anything. I think you've discovered that in your 30-some-odd years in the business here, that these Englishmen, they'll bet on who can down more pints in a bar and put up big money on that. But, yeah, I mean, have you looked at this? Because I always say you can't bet Scotty Scheffler. He's 7-2 favorite in this thing. Rory 15-2, which is approximately 7.5 to 1, or somewhere between 7 and 8 to 1. And then you got these nondescript European schmenks, I like to call them, and they're up there. There are a few guys that seem like they might be likely contenders that are in the mid-30s in terms of price. Have you taken a look at that? I mean, are you likely to give out any recommendations to your clients on the Scottish Open, Scotty?
I got to be honest with you, Defo.
No.
Golf is not my thing. I never
Nope.
did it. It's not something I'm really, I get involved in. So I haven't even had the time to put into it or anything to look at this. I've just been so focused on what's in front of me with baseball. And, this tennis over the last week and a half, 2 weeks has been interesting for us. But no, I don't really get into the golf. So I can't, there's nothing I could really advise anyone out there that I feel comfortable as far as trying to figure it out.
You do get your money's worth if you're riding with a player that's in contention. I would say if you're looking for, and I mean, I know your clients are looking at this as an investment and a chance to make some money from a business standpoint. Even though, let's face it, sports are largely intangible when it comes to that sort of thing, and luck is a huge factor, as we all know. Usually bad luck. If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. That's my favorite blues song. But I mean, it happened to me. First time I went to a racetrack of any kind, it was Roosevelt Raceway. I was about 16 years old, and we get in there and we hit an exacta in the get-out race. And of course, I was already into it, being a degenerate and having the DNA. But that was it. You start thinking it's easy. And the very first golf tournament I bet, we got 45 to 1 on Martin Keimer to win the U.S. Open. Has to go back about 10 years ago, maybe even further back than that now. But and so I hit, and I'm thinking, wow, this is the greatest thing that ever happened. Now, I believe in all the years I've been betting golf, I've won a couple of pools, but I've only hit one other individual winner. And I still probably am ahead lifetime just off that Keimer hit at 45 to 1. So that's the kind of thing I enjoy there, where you only have to win once and you pretty much got your money back. And if you're looking at it as entertainment, you're sort of getting a free ride for the next 10 years, which, kind of makes it fun. And these golf pools, I think, are fascinating. I know you would love this, Scotty, the way you are, because you would absolutely love the idea of having this kind of action and following so many different players and all the kinds of different situations that they get in, even if they're not winning the tournament. All right, let's look at baseball. When did you start betting the Blue Jays? Have you parlayed the entire 10-game winning streak? What's going on with that? Oh, we lost your sound again, Scotty M. You're going to have to tap back in. We're going to drop you here for a second and hope to get him because we want to get Scotty M's baseball opinion. A little awkward here from a technological standpoint on Bury Your Bookie today, but we're going to assure you we're going to bring the final nail in the coffin of whoever is taking your action and try and bring you Scotty M on Major League Baseball. Toronto red hot by 10 games in a row. They've overtaken the Yankees. The Yankees now 3.5 back in the American League East. A lot of people that thought they were going to cruise to the wire there if they had the Yankees to win the American League East, probably getting a little bit of the shakes as we see Toronto surging. All right, Scotty, we were talking about the Blue Jays there. Are you on their bandwagon as they've won 10 in a row and now opened up 3 and a hook in the American League East?
It's quite impressive what they've been doing lately and quietly been doing it. So I've had them a few times. I've been riding it. That's what I look for. I look for kind of teams that were kind of on the cusp to start going on these little runs or tailing off. Like I've been staying away from the Dodgers of late, making a little money with the Brew Crew the last couple of nights. Everyone's saying, well, the Dodgers are due to win. No, they're not due to win, guys. It's not that simple. Teams that are running bad in baseball with a 162-game season, they get a little tired. They go through these spurts, and that's where you can catch some money and, jump on some of these teams, like these teams that are red hot right now. The Red Sox, for example, quietly won 5 straight games in a row, 3 games over 500, starting to get a little, moving in the right direction, 8-2 in their last 10. Obviously, I wouldn't touch them at 3-1. I haven't touched them recently, but I did jump on them a couple of games when they were on the road against Washington, and they won handily, scored a bunch of runs. But that's what I look for. I'm looking for momentum. I'm looking for these teams that, might have been playing bad for a while, that you start seeing a little momentum. They're starting to put runs on the board. They're losing maybe some tough games. Then they go against matchups against teams that are, playing up and down. So, teams like that right now. The team that has been making me some money lately, Defo, playing them on the road is our backyard team right here with the Miami Marlins. 11 straight winners in a row. I had them last night.
Wow.
I had the first game of the series. I had them as a huge play last night. I released a special promotion. I made a 50-unit selection when I only do it about 6 to 8 times a month. And I made them exactly. I made them
when you go all in, it's like Johnny Chan, man. I mean, you don't even you have the sunglasses on and everything, and it's usually a cinch.
Yeah, that's what you got to do in baseball. You got to kind of ride these teams that are doing well. Try to stay away from the teams that are kind of cooling off. Obviously, you don't want to say, "Oh, they're due to win factor." That due to win factor doesn't happen so fast, and then you keep moving more money on them and more money, and pretty soon you're way behind trying to get out of a big hole. But Detroit. Listen, Detroit's been unbelievable. Playing really well. 59-34, best record in baseball. I mean, they always try to find ways to beat this team, but they just keep beating everyone. Right now, currently on a 5-game winning streak as well. You got some teams playing well right now. Red Sox playing well. Detroit's been playing well all season long. Marlins been playing well of late. And getting price. You could cut some prices with the Marlins because they were playing so poor before that. And now you're catching some prices on them, and that's how you make some money in baseball. You got to find these little ins and outs and jump on these teams, and don't chase after teams that you think are going to due to win, because that due to win might not come, like I said, before you burn a lot of money. A lot of these teams burn money for you before they make you money.
Favorites, yeah. I mean, I keep hearing Harvey Pack in my head. Not a man alive, made a living at 3-5. If you're going against them, I mean, think about that. 11 straight on the road by the Marlins. They have among a handful of teams that they have a winning record on the road at this point in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Thinking about Bill James, Baseball Abstract, where you have these common theories sometimes, and you would have to say statistically over time they're probably proven to be true. One of which is to be a championship caliber team that you have to play 500 ball on the road, and if you can do that. Surprising that you wouldn't be in contention.
Yeah,
not as good at home because they have no home crowd, and they weren't a good team. I had labeled them a bunch of bag ladies, Scotty M. How stupid do I look at this point? I said that this Peter Bendix, their GM, was nothing more than a bat boy, and then he's got Stowers who made the All Star team, and this Augustine Ramirez. Is he an outsider? I mean, could he possibly emerge as the rookie of the year? Would that be worth taking a little shot on? Because this kid's great. I've watched a couple of interviews with him. He is English. He's just learning, and yet he's willing to do these interviews in English. And he comes off like a young Tony Perez, this guy. I mean, is it possible if he continues to hit like he has? He's pounding extra base hits. I think his average has dipped a little bit. But, I mean, is he worth a sniff as a rookie of the year? Kid's been great.
Well, the name has been coming up recently in more talk. You've been hearing his name come up in that conversation. So if he can maintain his numbers, and stay hot in the second last 70 games of the season, why not? I mean, he's right in the talks with anyone else that is battling for that Rookie of the Year title. So he's been playing really well. Like you say, he's been hitting really well of late. And the Marlins, like I said, they're playing really good baseball. I mean, out of nowhere, their first 55, 60 games. I mean, nothing really going on. Obviously, a bad product, but all of a sudden turned it around big time and playing really well. Like I said, 11 in a row on the road. Teams the best teams in baseball don't even do that with the best records. They don't win 11
Sure.
in a row. And here's a team that's under 500 club, and all of a sudden has turned it around and starting to play some really good baseball. Another team you can scratch your head with this season, I mean, is this Atlanta Braves. Talk about a team that burns money for you. I mean, they keep making them favorites, whether they're home or on the road, and they just keep on dropping games. I mean, they lost again last night as another favorite. I mean, their numbers are terrible. They're 15 and 29 on the road, and they make them again today. They're a small favorite against the Athletics. I mean, I think they're a great bet against. They're just not playing well either way. I mean, right now they're 2-8 in their last 10 games. They lost 5 straight games in a row. They're making them a 115 favorite against the Athletics. I mean, I know the Athletics are not much, also, but I think the Athletics in a spot like this could be a play today because this Atlanta team is just not right. I mean, they're not playing well overall, and their numbers, they got beatable numbers to bet against them. And I think the Athletics, they pounded them last night. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't beat them again today. So that could be a game you guys could look at today. Is the Athletics plus? Well, it might be minus 103, 105 playing against Atlanta because Atlanta has just been burning money for everyone all season long. Everyone thought they would be something, and they haven't turned the corner. They started showing some glimpses of doing that, but then they just fall back again and start going on these bad runs where they go 2-8 or 3-7, which is just a losing proposition overall.
Shows you my gambling instincts, Scotty. And this is why we have you on the show and aren't going strictly with any opinions of mine. Because a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at the Braves. They had started to make a little bit of an ascent. They were in third place. They're about 9.5 back of Philly and the Mets, both of whom had their various ups and downs. The Mets were in the throes of kind of a low point of their season, and Philadelphia had come on and then sort of came back to the pack. They're now in a dead heat in the National League East. And I was thinking, geez, might be worth throwing a few shekels on the Braves to win the NL East. And here they are now right back plummeting towards the bottom and even behind the aforementioned Miami Marlins in the standings. So, okay, so you're betting against the Braves today, taking the A's, not having to lay much of a price there. Minus 103 is certainly palatable. Anything else that stands out to you, Scotty, I'm on the slate today?
I mean, how can you not like them? Like I said earlier in the show, Detroit at home today, minus 150 number against Tampa Bay. I just think Detroit right now is just locked in. They're just playing so well. They're tough to beat. They're a tough out at home, obviously. Best record in baseball, 59 and 34. Been consistent all year. Haven't gone on any major losing streaks, and actually just been playing extremely well. Olson's not bad. He's 4-3 with a under 3 ERA. He's going against Littell, who's 7-7. I mean, with a 3.50 ERA. I just think that Detroit at home in this spot, the way they're playing right now, they've won 5 straight games in a row, 8-2 in their last 10. They're a superior club, I feel, than Tampa Bay in this spot. So I would lay the 150. I'm not a big component of laying big numbers, but it's not really a major number for the best team in baseball. So I'm going to take Detroit. Probably the only reason why it's not 180 or 190 because it's Olsen. He doesn't get the notoriety, obviously, as a screwball and some of the other key pitches for Detroit. But I like this spot today with Detroit. So I'd lay the 150 on the money line over Tampa Bay. And another team that scratches your head, San Francisco can't win for this Verlander. He's 0-6 this year.
Wow.
Yeah, he hasn't won a start. He's got a 4.84 ERA. He's going against Luzardo, who started out a house of fire, but he's tailed off. He's 7-5, with almost a 4.5 ERA. Phillies lost their last two straight games in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10. I think Verlander might get his first win here. San Francisco's playing well right now. They're in a little bit of an upward trend. They were playing like this for a while, up and down and not going anywhere. They won their last four straight. They're 6-4 in the last 10. I think it's time for Verlander to get the W. What better spot where you have one pitcher? Luzardo has not been performing at his best level on his last several starts like he did earlier in the year. I think it's time for the first win for Verlander, and you can get plus 115 on your money with Verlander as a home dog. So I think this one could be a little nice little live dog today with San Francisco's won 4 in a row playing better ball against Philly, who's been up and down. I'll take advantage of that situation. Luzardo, like I said, not pitching his best recently. It's time for Verlander to get a W. He's been in his starts. They're just not finding ways to win for him. But I think they got a shot in this one today because San Francisco seems to be picking it up a little more. And I'll take them as a home dog in this spot. A team that won 4 in a row against a team that lost to them the last couple of games, and it's 5-5 in their last 10. And their starting pitcher has been tailing off. I'll take the shot with Verlander at home plus the 115.
I think if you tracked his career, that's been a pattern with Luzardo, where he shows you a ton of promise early in the season and then kind of tails off and comes back to the pack. So another very appropriate play there by Scotty M. All right, your information is invaluable. We always love having you on the show. Glad you were able to join us here this morning. Where can people find out more about what Scotty M likes and get the full spectrum of your entire team that is out there digging feverishly for the best and most insightful information that you'll find in handicapping? Where do we find you?
Yeah, the best way to find me, guys, we're putting out a lot of winners. Man, have we been hot. 12-4 in our last 16 on our broadcast channel, which is all free. Free picks have been hitting about 65% for probably a long stretch right now, and it's all free. We're not charging anyone anything. I'm giving it away. I'm giving away like a couple of free picks a day. It's all here on my official Instagram channel with the blue check mark. Make sure it's the verified check mark, and it's SM Sports Picks, Picks. Again, if you want to join the broadcast channel, it's absolutely free, no obligations. We put the plays up. We rate them 2 to 5 units, 2 obviously being the lowest, 5 being the top tier play. We're going to have another one up there today, and you just click and join it. And also, obviously, we put the free pick videos up each and every day with some additional information. And it's been working out, Defo, and we've been on a nice run. Pretty much since the start of the baseball season. So, knock on wood, we've had about 14 weeks of pretty solid results, consistent results in the MLB.
Sounds good, my friend. I'm glad you're immersed in this because it's been a little dry. I mean, you don't have you don't bet NBA summer league basketball, do you? I mean, you into that? I mean, is that the point where you would decide to go seek therapy? Or what
It's not a question of therapy because guys want it. I mean, in a business I'm in, Defo, you got to remember, I gotta play to my audience, as they say.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you got to play to your crowd. So my crowd is always in action people. They want action. They want it. It doesn't matter to them. It's never enough. Give me another one. Give me another one. Give me another one. You put up 5 free picks. They want a 6 free pick. So I got to play to my crowd, but I try to stick to what my guns and what I'm best at. I don't want to just shift to other things that I'm not as good at just to give away something. I'd rather give away something I feel good about than just giving away something just for the sake to give it. So I kind of stick with my guns, and I stick to the baseball, I stick to the basketball, I stick to the hockey, I stick to the football. Those are my 4 key sports that I've done, obviously, to get to this point. I've been doing this since 1988 for a real living. I've done nothing else my whole entire life other than being in this industry around sports betting and betting on sports. And I've been pretty damn successful at it.
Yeah, we can see. I mean, you look the part. That's for sure, Scotty. Look prosperous. That's always the key. All right, great stuff. Thanks so much for joining us. Glad you were able to make it on the show today, and always appreciate you coming on the program. Thanks for being with us. What was that?
Any time for you, my friend.
Oh, cool. All right, great. And we'll do it again next week. Thanks, Scotty.
Outside. Apologize.
Yeah, no, I was I was wondering. It sounded like somebody was had a leaf blower inside your house there. Yeah.
With the hedge clippers.
If you could just invent a muffler for the leaf blower, we wouldn't have to do any of this anymore. We'd be rich. We'd go right on Shark Tank and make a fortune. All right, thanks. Scotty M, ladies and gentlemen, with us here on the show. All right, you got some baseball games to play. I'm going to go watch some tennis action and hope we're right. Rooting in the Americana. Ben Shelton, maybe with a good chance. Probably get destroyed now that I've said this, but I think he's got a great shot there at 3-1. I guess the price has dropped a little bit from yesterday, plus 275. Scotty was saying, but give him a big chance to win this match over Yannick Sinner. We shall see. Sinner would have to rebound significantly and shake off that shaky elbow that he displayed there. It looked like it was getting a little like shredded wheat as that match was progressing. And we don't know if he would have made it by Dimitrov, but nonetheless, I give Ben Shelton a good shot to win today. All right, you guys, good luck, everybody. We'll have Mike Jones with us tomorrow. We'll get into some more baseball and other things. He's a big tennis guy, too. And good luck with all of your wagers. We'll see you on the next edition of Bury Your Bookie.